This is 7 News, the voice of the New England.
Tonight, calls for the state government to save an Armidale childcare centre from closure.
The hustle and bustle of Melbourne Cup Day preparations pay off for many businesses.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, 2 boys killed in a crash that tore a car in half. 2 people seen running away. And Anthony Albanese meets with China, hoping to end our Aussie trade bans.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. A childcare centre in Armidale will be forced to close its doors this week, leaving parents and staff devastated.
The Department of Education made the decision, claiming the centre is unsafe due to lost paperwork and outdated enrolment forms.
Parents gathered today at Tiny Town's childcare in Armidale, stressed and upset. They were told on Friday the centre will close this Wednesday.
I don't know how I'll be able to go to work.
The waiting list to get into another school is about 2 years, so that will have a devastating effect on us.
Karina de Klerk has owned the centre for 23 years. Having to tell the parents and children was a blow.
That was quite difficult, you know, and I also because I knew that there's no other places in town.
The last few years have been difficult for the childcare industry. Staff shortages and exhausting workloads, leaving the centre struggling.
At one stage, you know, I did the kitchen, I did the cleaning, I do the I'm in the rooms.
A letter from the department states multiple reasons for the closure, including issues with an emergency contact for a child with epilepsy and missing records of authorisations to excursions.
In the end, we supplied all the documentation they needed.
Ms de Klerk offered alternative options to delay the decision. None were accepted.
I do feel unfairly treated. I do feel like discriminated against, you know. I don't know if it's because I'm from another country.
Northern Tablelands MP Adam Marshall has made calls to the Minister for Education, Prue Carr.
And the department knows full well the strain and pressure that these families are under, but also the childcare industry is under right across our region.
In a statement, the Department of Education acknowledged the impact, but says its priority is always the safety of children. Olivia Babb, 7 News.
Fire crews are continuing to control and contain a number of fires in the Tenterfield Shire. Elise Holden joins us now for an update. And Elise, has that rainfall helped the fire ground?
Nick, the Rural Fire Service says the wet weather has hindered efforts more than helped. The region has seen less than 1 millimetre of rain in the last 24 hours, which hasn't been enough to extinguish the blazes. Crews are still working to get 3 bushfires in Jennings, the Donnybrook State Forest and Deepwater under control. Burning efforts have been delayed due to the weather.
We are expecting to trend towards a drying pattern in the next 48 to 72 hours. So a lot of the work today has been about using heavy plants and crews backing up that heavy plant and just working on the fire line and extinguishing as they go.
Crews are hoping any more rain holds off long enough to put containment lines in before temperatures rise on Thursday. Nick.
OK, thanks for the update, Elise. That's Elise Holden reporting for us tonight. Well, Kirsty is here now for today's weather, and Kirsty, Tenterfield didn't see much rain, but other parts of the region did.
That's right, Nick and Maddie. Good evening to you and hello, everyone. In fact, we've seen heavy downpours fall for parts of our region, and that was late yesterday. 18 millimetres fell in Guyra, 10 millimetres for Warrialda, and about 4 millimetres in Armidale from around 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Cloud has been covering the Tablelands for most of today, with just a few scattered sunny patches for the slopes and plains. Temperatures were mild overnight, and we have continued to see that warmth build throughout the day, with our maximums reaching the high teens into the low 30s in the west. Tamworth's maximum 29 and Tenterfield 19 degrees with east to northeasterly winds. A broad trough building in the east will continue to bring showers and storms this afternoon and throughout the week. I'll have a look at that weather a little later on.
Thanks, Kirsty. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. New England police are on the lookout for the masterminds behind counterfeit money circulating in the community. Half a dozen retail outlets have been caught out with fake $100 notes in the last few weeks.
It's a crime police thought was in the past. Fake money being used in stores. Detective Inspector Kingsley Chapman says it's an easy trap for today's society.
The checks and balances and those receiving the notes are sort of not really scrutinising as we once did.
The notes themselves are not considered sophisticated, but in busy retail stores, checking for signs of fake money isn't easy.
I wouldn't say the quality is high tech. Look, in this modern age, it is quite easy to replicate and to produce such counterfeit notes.
The move to a cashless society has been both criticised and praised. While most people use electronic payments, there are those who still prefer cash. It doesn't take long for money to travel.
A number of these notes in circulation, and they can be produced and handed across the district.
Matt Hurigan is on alert, having heard the reports, taking care to pay attention to customers in store.
Probably, if they're just a little bit sus with some of their behaviour, looking around a little bit and over their shoulder, you can sometimes you can have a bit of an idea.
Police say to look out for signs of colour discrepancy and holograms.
Getting the note, tilting it and seeing a rolling colour effect. And also on the $100 bill, there's a shrine down the bottom, and that also depicts 100 in numbers, and that will reverse when you roll it.
It's a good reminder to train your staff to take the time to look and spot anything that doesn't look quite right.
Because those notes, you hand them in and we don't get the money back. So it hurts the business as well.
Police are asking for anyone with information to contact their local station or Crime Stoppers. Olivia Babb, 7 News.
Local farmers have protested outside Gunnedah, calling for Santos to end gas exploration. Yesterday, around 20 farmers stood outside a property owned by the company where drilling work is underway. Trucks were unable to get through the gates for several hours until police were called. Farmers have been fighting Santos for several years, worried about the impacts gas exploration will have on water supply.
Others in the past have stopped Santos. And if they did nothing, I guarantee you there would be gas fields all through here already. But people have stood up and said no, and that's what we've got to do, and we will stop it.
Protesters say despite the risk of fines and arrest, they will continue to protest until the state government listens to their concerns.
World Cup Day is nearly upon us. Plenty of punters will dress up to the nines for what is set to be a stellar day of racing at the Tamworth Jockey Club.
The sun will be shining and the drinks will be flowing at the Tamworth Jockey Club tomorrow, but it wouldn't have been possible without the hard work of those putting it all together.
Yeah, so preparations have been well underway for a couple of months now, getting everything sorted there. Everyone's all hands on deck today to have it all spick and span for tomorrow afternoon.
All the hard work with all the rewards. Mr Penfold says he's expecting a big turnout.
Previous years, last year it rained on the day, so a phantom meeting was held where they got about 2,000 people, so expecting to just get a bit more than that from last year to this year.
Town and Country boutique and plush hair design owner Deborah Cholton says it's always a frantic time for those making last-minute decisions.
The hairdressing salons are very busy, hair and makeup. People like right into getting their makeup done now and getting their hair to fit with their hat or their fascinator.
Miss Cholton will be one of this year's Fashion on the Field judges. She'll be keeping a close eye on everyone's attire.
There's best dressed male, best dressed female, there's best dressed couple, and then there's also the person with the best hat.
There'll be a few things she'll be looking out for after a rain-soaked day cancelled the fashion event last year.
Tamworth Melbourne Cup Day is more about colour. Derby Day tends to be more black and white. People tend to wear bright things.
Hugh Pearson, 7 News.
A pre-screening program for lung cancer is making its way to Tamworth. A focus group will take place in 2 weeks' time and locals are encouraged to attend. Lung cancer is higher in regional and rural communities due to an increase in tobacco use. The low-dose CT scan can spot abnormalities and the early stages of cancer. Dr Jenny May is urging people to consider taking part.
If you do smoke or you have smoked, you carry a lifetime potential risk of lung cancer, and that's what we're going to be looking at. People aged 50 to 75 who've smoked or are currently smoking would be the candidates for screening.
The screening is due to start in June next year.
Tamworth City Pool is finally open for the summer season. After several bursts of heat, temperatures have cooled off, but it won't last long.
The gates have finally opened at Tamworth Olympic Swimming Pool and swimmers are taking advantage of their lunch break. All swimming pools across the Tamworth region are now open, ready in time for summer. The region has experienced a fluctuation in temperatures. Cooler conditions have now arrived after a hot few weeks. The weekend brought a few showers along with some lightning strikes.
Luckily there was a bit of rain with the storm this time, which prevented quite a number of fires from beginning compared to last time.
However, it did ignite a fire east of Barraba over the weekend.
That's an area known as Ironbark, so very rough, rugged terrain, and that burnt for approximately 2 days before we brought it under control.
At the moment, temperatures and weather conditions are relatively mild. However, from Wednesday, parts of the region could see more active storms.
There is still some minor potential for localized moderate rainfalls.
Temperatures towards the second part of the week and into the weekend will rise.
We may see the maximum temperatures in some parts of the northwestern slopes like Moree and Narrabri and Tamos reaching low 30s.
And that means a higher risk of fire activity. Rachel Holdsworth, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, life-saving equipment to help with train accidents.
And charities start the countdown to Christmas.
And a little later on this news hour, 2 boys killed and 2 people spotted running from the scene of a horror crash in Sydney. A separate crash in Victoria sees another 5 people killed after a car ploughed into a pub. And the PM prepares for a meeting with China, hoping to lift all of our trade bans.
Christmas is just around the corner and many people are starting to plan how they'll spend the festive season. Tamworth Liberty Food Care is preparing hampers so people who are doing it tough don't go without.
It's a time for family and for giving back. But what's meant to be a festive and fun time can often be stressful for those doing it tough.
But it's also a time where people get stressed because they can't provide the gifts or the food that is expected at Christmas.
Doing their part this year is Tamworth Liberty Food Care, who are providing Christmas hampers for 40% of their original cost.
So we are able to get a supply of those and sell them on to people at about 40% of normal price. So these hampers are worth $100 to $120 and we're able to give them the plus a few extras.
Recipients will get a fruitcake, pudding and other non-perishables, as well as some more meat and pantry items. At the start of this year, Tamworth Liberty Food Care was helping 300 people a week. Now they're helping 500 a week. Wendy Klassen has seen firsthand how important services like Liberty Food Care are.
There are a lot of people relying on our services. There's 27% of people with a mortgage last year still had food insecurity in their home, having trouble putting food on the tables. We're here to help everybody. She and her team of volunteers are gearing up for another big Christmas. Well, Christmas hampers will... last year we ran out of Christmas hampers. There was such a demand for them.
Tamworth isn't alone when it comes to more people shopping at stores such as Liberty Food Care.
The power prices, the fuel prices, the cost of food, cost of rent, everything is going up and we're dealing with a segment of Tamworth community which has really been impacted very hard.
Hugh Pearson, 7 News.
A regional rescue team is preparing for what may lie ahead with the expansion of the Inland Rail project. An SES unit has received a crucial piece of equipment which could help save a life in the event of a train accident.
Weighing heavily on the minds of regional rescue crews is how to free a patient trapped under a train or a large machine.
We particularly started to think about that with the advent of inland rail, with more and more train carriages, but also heavy earth-moving machinery and that type of thing.
For the Gilgandra SES unit, it was a wake-up call realised in February.
And I said, yeah, but it's a person caught under a friggin' train. And I said, we haven't got the ability to fix it. You know, if we've got to lift this is going to be interesting.
Fast forward 7 months, an unveiling on a new piece of life-saving equipment donated to the town's SES unit.
This is our way of saying thank you to the Gilgandra community, in advance if you like. God forbid that we ever need your help one day, but if we do, it's really comforting to know that you're there to help us.
Worth just over $5,000, this is a hydraulic ram, able to lift 50 tonnes. It can also be used in road crash rescues, like pushing 2 trucks apart.
To get that bit of equipment which can help in so many more situations, when having the ability to push 50 tonnes 6 inches, 6 inches might not seem like a long way, but that could save someone's life. Often with a ram, whenever a person's pinned by an arm, leg or something like that, you only need to lift the object. Even heavy tractors, you only need to lift them maybe 5, 10 centimetres, 15 centimetres at the most to simply slip somebody out.
Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
Well, up next in 7 News, a national crown for Tamworth BMX talent Jack Davis.
And a local hockey team returns home as state champions.
Tomorrow on Sunrise, the other Ozempic, the weight loss wonder drug, has a rival treatment, and medical experts are convinced it's just as effective and more accessible.
Plus, Australia's cracking homes, how soaring temperatures are causing brickwork to crumble. The simple steps to keep your house strong.
See you in the morning.
Tamworth's Jack Davis has taken out the BMX National Championships in Shepparton. The 21-year-old made the trip from Florida for the event, stopping in at his home track last week. Jack says he is looking forward to returning to our shores next year as he prepares for a string of competitions.
I'm so stoked that we've got, some World Cups in New Zealand and Australia at the start of the year, so I get to come home and spend the holidays with my family and then do World Cup prep over here.
Jack is expecting to do another clinic with the juniors at the Tamworth City BMX Club on his return. A humble hockey team in Tamworth can once again call themselves state champions. The boys at Tamworth Public School bringing home the PSSA Shield for the second year in a row.
TPS on 3! 1, 2, 3, TPS!
At Tamworth Public School, winners are grinners. These boys are PSSA state champions. The school, with a rich hockey history, has added another plaque to their shield.
In our school, we've won a lot of these knockout things for hockey. So to keep it going is like saying that Tamworth is a strong part of New South Wales and we're here to put a statement in that we're here for hockey.
The co-captains are twin brothers Reese and Chase Mackay. Chase, the older by 2 minutes and the taller by 4 inches.
2 minutes does not look like it should be that high. It's nice to have someone that you live with on your team because you know how he thinks, you know how we play together. You just know a lot about each other.
While he may have the height advantage, he doesn't hold everything over Reese.
Because he does have the better hockey and sporting genes, but something's better being taller.
It seems that brotherly chemistry has spread across the whole team.
So we've all bonded together, we know everyone how they play, their weaknesses, their advantages, like what sort of helps them the most.
That bond helped them defend their title. Going back-to-back, a huge honour for the school.
Most of these boys were playing last year as well in that back-to-back, so it's just continued and flowed right through.
Much of the team will be moving on to high school next year, but we can expect to see these boys on the hockey field for years to come.
Once you're on the field, you basically forget about it and play what you love, play hockey, do it for fun.
Max Gent, 7 News.
The World Endurance Mountain Bike Organisation has wrapped up its event in Armidale with more than 100 competitors racing around the clock at the New England Mountain Bike Park. Corey Wallace took out the top honour with 27 laps of the track in just over 22 hours in the saddle. The riders didn't reach the finish line alone though, with a huge support team camping out on the course as they helped competitors throughout the night. A 5-race meeting will entertain punters tomorrow at the Tamworth Jockey Club. Local traders like Cody Morgan, Melanie O'Gorman and Mark Mason will be the ones to beat on the day. The track is looking in top shape ahead of tomorrow with jockeys and horses set to race on a good 3. Still to come in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got a look at what's happening weather-wise for the week. That's next.
Welcome back, everyone. A coastal low pressure system and moist easterly winds have generated some heavy downpours along parts of the north coast. This system will continue to move west through inland parts of the state over the coming couple of days, bringing with it humid and unstable weather, including showers and thunderstorms, and that is to most of New South Wales. If we look through to our rainfall map, it is the eastern half of the state that looks to pick up most of the upcoming rainfall. At this stage, Thursday looks like the day for some of the heaviest showers, around 20 20 to 30 millimetres is currently forecast across the New England and northwest, but we could see some heavier rainfall embedded within thunderstorms. On to our Tuesday weather now. Partly cloudy for most of tomorrow morning as we see that cloud build through the afternoon. Storms could still roll through the region and there is a slight chance of a shower or two. That is mainly towards the Tablelands though. Temperatures sitting in the low 20s for Armidale and for Tenterfield. The high 20s in Murrurundi with quite a gusty morning wind. Through to Wednesday though, we'll start to see those showers picking up for the middle of the working week with about 5 to 6 millimetres on the forecast. Quite a windy morning once again, mainly in the west where it will also be partly cloudy. There is that chance of storms developing. Glen Innes a top of 20 following 8 overnight. A little bit of cloud cover trapping in some heat in Scone. 11 our minimum ahead of that top of 30 with that chance of showers. Through to Thursday, another 5 to 7 millimetres could drop across the New England and northwest. Once again with storms around. We'll feel winds increasing in speed up to 30 kilometres an hour. Glen Innes a top of 22. Inverell patchy cloud and 26 degrees, and in Walker mostly fine, 23 with that chance of an evening shower. As we reach the end of the working week, we will see temperatures continuing to warm up and that chance of showers too before that eases off into Saturday. Nice to see some more wet weather on the horizon, but we're also seeing those temperatures warm up, which could also come with that increased fire danger across the region. Rainfall certainly something that we're all looking forward to at the moment.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the rain. It's going to be hot though on Sunday.
Yes, it sure will.
Thanks, Kirsty. See you later.
And that is all we have time for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can always catch up on our website or, of course, at 7+.
Right now, though, Dan has your national news. Have a lovely night. See you again tomorrow from 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.